Hello, this is Sam Che, and in this video we'll be talking about Prokan K304. I'll put this up front. This is not mine, it's actually one of my friends. He asked me to take a look at this flashlight because there's a problem, apparently. Now, right off the boat, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what the hell is wrong with this flashlight. It simply doesn't work. You can definitely hear that click when I press the buttons, but you'll expect it to turn on, but unfortunately it does not, because obviously he said there's a problem. So we're gonna take a look at this device today and we'll figure out what the hell's wrong with this. Now, first guess that I have is there's something wrong with the switch. Maybe the switch doesn't work, therefore the flashlight doesn't turn on. So how are we gonna check whether the switch is bad? Well, this is called multimeter. And we're gonna use the connectivity function at the very end to figure out whether the switch is working or not. But before we do that, if you'd like to know what happened to this Kilter 119 multimeter, you can click the link over here to see what happened. So what we are going to do is we are going to take away this switch. So once you have the caps off, you can simply connect the two probes onto the two plates of your switch. At this point, we can confidently say that this switch is at off position, but if you press the switch, you should be able to hear the beep, which means the connection is closed. Now this is off, this is on, off, on. So that tells us that this switch is in fact okay, it's not broken. So the next one we're gonna check for malfunction is obviously the LED unit. Now, if the LED unit is broken, that means this flashlight is unfortunately dead unless you switch the LED to new one. So we're gonna start disassembling the LED unit. In order to take apart the LED unit, first take off the top cap of the flashlight. Once you have that apart, you can simply take apart the lens. And here comes the tricky part. Once you have the lens off, you can take apart the LED unit, but in order to take apart that LED unit, you need a special tool. But because I do not have that special tool, we're gonna use something else. We are going to use this electronic vernier caliper in order to take apart that LED unit. Simply use the back end of the vernier caliper, put it on top of the holes like that, and once you have that measured out, you can lock your vernier caliper and start unscrewing the LED unit. So here it is, the LED unit. Now the way we are going to test out this LED unit is by connecting it to external LED source, power source. Well, it works. That means the LED unit is probably okay. Now, by actually varying the connection, you can actually take a look at the cycle which the LED unit goes through, because there's also a circuit board inside which controls the current and the voltage that is applied to the LED unit. So if I turn on the lantern once, now it's at a full brightness. But if I turn it off and connect it again, it's sort of at the medium brightness, and one more time it has so high, medium, low. But if you go one more time after this, you'll actually go through this process, and I believe that is actually SOS signal in Morse code. Okay, so far we have taken a look at the switch and the LED unit of this flashlight, and we haven't found out any problem yet. So what does it mean? That means the problem could be now in either two sectors. It could be a malconnection in the socket, or it could be a malfunction in the battery. Now we're going to take a look at the battery first because it's relatively a more easier things to test out. This battery is a lithium-ion battery which supplies 3.7 volt at 3,200 milliamps per hour. But if we use the DC voltage meter in our multimeter, we can test out how much voltage it's left inside this battery. Okay, so the voltage meter on my multimeter reads about 1.5 volt. Well, if it's fully charged, this battery will actually supply about 4.2 volt. But 1.5 volt is less than half of that. So maybe this battery could be a problem in this case because it does not have any juice. But does it mean the case is okay? Well, okay, so we are good. It's not shorting out anything inside, so you can screw back the LED unit using multimeter, using vernier caliper. Now this time you are going to turn it clockwise because we unscrewed it by turning counterclockwise. So turn it clockwise. Well, if you're done with mounting the LED unit on place, everything else is pretty much the reverse of what we have done at the beginning. Right now I have put back all the components back on place, so now it's on one flashlight. Then at least we know what the problem with this flashlight is, right? By using a multimeter and an external power supply, we have successfully diagnosed the problem with our LED flashlight. Now, the most sensible way to solve our battery problem with this flashlight would be first to try to charge the battery. Now, if the battery charging doesn't go well, that definitely means that there's something wrong with the battery itself. And by that point, I would consider repurchasing another battery brand. I'm sure you can definitely get batteries like this online, like G-Market or something, maybe even eBay. But personally, this was a really great opportunity to learn about flashlights. Back then I used to think flashlights only contain battery, switch, and just LEDs, but it turns out it's not true. Flashlights like these are a little bit more expensive ones. They're about 20 or 20 something bucks compared to this one, which I think only costs about like $4 or $5. These ones are really simple. It's literally a switch and battery and LEDs. There's no any circuitry to be involved. It's not bad, but it's just a simple function flashlight. But a flashlight like this particular flashlight turns out to have LED from Cree, which I certainly know for sure as one of the reputable companies with great quality. So I believe this particular flashlight costs somewhere around 20 bucks, maybe 23, 25, something like that. But the point is that more expensive flashlights turns to have more complex circuitry. These more complex flashlights tend to have more functionality into them. This particular flashlight has full brightness, medium brightness, low brightness, but also SOS and even flashing functionality, which I believe is absolutely gorgeous for any outdoor uses. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Hope you guys like me going through this flashlight and diagnosing its problem, basically. I'm currently working on a Halloween themed project, which I'll post on YouTube fairly shortly, definitely before Halloween. So until then, have a nice day.